Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and we've got a DVD collection update. I've got 8 DVDs here from Amazon UK. They've actually been sitting on my shelf for a while. Just never got around to do the update video. But yeah, these are all, I think all of these come under like some of my personal favorites, especially 3 or 4 of them. Really big favorites of mine. They're all good, excellent movies which anybody should have in their collection. So yeah, better late than never. Today has been a hot day. I was actually out. I actually missed a package. So there was a package that by mistake went back. I tried to go and sign for it and bring it with me back home, but I was too late, so I lost one package. That package contained 2 box sets. One is a smaller box set, that is Stargate Universe. It's only 2 seasons. The other one is Stargate Atlantis, which is 5 seasons, and I really love Stargate Atlantis. Especially, I love all Stargates, but I think Atlantis is my favorite out of the 3. I've never seen the animated series, which is pretty small actually. I don't think it lasts more than a season. But after that, I had another errand to run, so by afternoon I went for a quick burger and some chicken wings and a shake, and then finally I went grocery shopping, and I've been relaxing the rest of the day over here, just watching a little bit of Frasier, one of my favorite sitcoms, Frasier. Absolutely enjoyed. This is the 5th or 6th time I'm actually watching the series. I enjoy that, and I'm on season 2, right about the middle point. Anyway, without further ado, I've already removed the wrapping from the cover because when I took it off my shelf, I saw a little bit of dust, so I took a damp cloth, and then wiped the top. Some of the wrapping did actually come off, so I decided, rather than have the wrapping off, removing the wrapping in front of you, I'll just show you the DVDs. So let's start with, we got one comedy, couple of dramas, a superhero movie, 2 horror movies, a science fiction adventure kind of action movie. It's a kind of a mixed bag. That's probably what I'm going to call this video. Mixed bag of 8 DVDs. So let's start with the comedy. This is part 2 of. I don't think they're planning to make any more. But we've got Seth MacFarlane and Mark Wahlberg. It's the voice of Seth MacFarlane. Sorry, Seth Marlin. So Seth MacFarlane voicing as Ted in Ted 2. So I already have Ted. I think somewhere over there. The Thunder Buddies are back. It's not as good as the first one. I think the first is absolutely a gem, but this one is good enough. I would think I've only seen both the movies once, so I would want to do a rewatch of both the movies pretty soon. It's been a while. Like these white cases. Oops, the DVD just came out. You've got the DVD extra over here. It's been raining a little bit. I can hear a little bit of thunder as well. I don't know if you can catch it over here. So that's the DVD itself, just a plain white case. Ted 2, funny movie. We go on to one of the horrors. This one actually, when I say horror, it's not scary horror, definitely. It's more like torture porn kind of stuff. But this movie made me very uncomfortable, and I'm an empathetic person myself, but my empathy levels were very high. I was saddened throughout a lot of the scenes in this movie, and I did not really know how to react. I would say it still is one of my favorites, even though the kind of violence that it shows and the lead actress goes through is, so it says the tagline over here is, "To see God, you must experience true evil." Not really, but they actually do want to know what happens to someone, what happens in the afterlife, what exactly is awaiting people, and that's the experiment that the are doing in the torture. It's called Martyrs. It's a French movie from the producers of Conjuring and Annabelle. I didn't actually know that, but I watched it, I think maybe 3 years ago or something. And yeah, it shook me to the core. This is the back. I was really sad throughout the movie, majority of the movie at least. So there were two versions of this movie. This one was cheap. I think it was only £4. Ted 2 was I think around £2.5. This was around 4. Yeah, so I actually wanted the other DVD case, but this is okay. This will be fine. Yeah, Martyrs. If you haven't watched it, if you're faint of the heart, I guess you wouldn't be able to stomach this. But I think a lot of people do enjoy this movie. They count it as one of their favorites. But man, the torture scenes are difficult to get through. Next is the sort of sci-fi-ish. Yeah, well, it is science fiction, but a revival of the Jurassic Park movies in Jurassic World. I've seen this movie, I think, around 2 or 3 times. Let me get some water, please. Gotta stay hydrated. With Chris Pratt in it, and thoroughly enjoyed this. The second one, not so much. I will get that movie definitely though, but I've only seen it once, and I wasn't impressed. Didn't get to see either of these movies in the theater, but this one I do enjoy quite a bit. I think Chris Pratt and Dallas Howard, they do actually have a good chemistry together. I like the movie. It was good to see the dinosaurs updated, special effects. That's what I mean. So that's the inside of the DVD case, which is the actual DVD over here. Again, simple set, but very, very enjoyable, very thoroughly enjoyable is what I would say. Cool. So that's Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom to come shortly. And I also read about the news that the next Jurassic World movie is going to have the main trio from the Jurassic Park initial movie join. They've never been able to actually capture the brilliance of the first movie. There's a lot of awe in it. I remember watching the movie for the first time, and I wanted to watch it on the first day, and I had to get tickets on the black. Me and my cousin, and we went to the theater. It was sold out, but we got somebody, I think you call it scalping, we call it black tickets. And but here's the fun part. The tickets were actually $40, and we paid $90 each. You can't get into a theater right now with $90. So, but that was 1993. So anyway, next movie which I really, really enjoyed. I've seen it for the second time on a streaming service. I think it was on Amazon Prime, and it's absolutely a brilliant acting, brilliant movie. The making of the franchise giant that we now know as McDonald's. It's the founder, and absolutely brilliant film. I mean, there's something about it. It's just fun to watch, even though I kind of hate the character, but you can't hate Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton is absolutely brilliant in this movie. So, and he's an excellent actor. So, I found everything about this movie to be great. It doesn't bore me at all. It was absolutely beautiful. It's just an awesome movie altogether. Although the the events aren't that great because of how he cheated the McDonald brothers. That's the back. But for some reason, I just feel that this is something that in an afternoon or maybe late in the evening, I can sit back, relax on my bed over here and watch this film. Seen it twice. I will definitely watch it many times. When the part of that holder thingy broke off. Anyway, it's the founder. And we got a slip here with the some ad. There's no digital code or anything like that. Anyhow, that's the founder. Love the movie. I was actually planning on watching it in the theaters when it came out in 2016. 2016, right? Yeah, 2016. But it was between this and another movie, which was I think a horror movie, if I'm not mistaken, and that won out. And the next week that I could actually come The movie had actually already gone out of the theaters, but so I actually missed it. But I did love it. So one of my favorites of recent years. Next, we come on to a horror movie, a classic from I think it is 1976, and try to find out over here. It's a Stephen King adaptation, so it's based on one of his novels. And the first time I actually read the novel, and this is before I saw the movie, was back in 1995 or 1996. I bought it at the railway station in Bangalore. I needed something to read on the journey back here, and I read it. It was a late night, it was a journey that started, I think, around the late in the evening. And I remember buying some vegetable sandwiches from the counter, and I bought this book. It was like right next to each other, and I read the novel while I was in the train, 13 hours journey. So I think it's from 1976. I'm not really sure of the year, but yeah, it says at the time, I guess it was says the greatest modern day horror movie, and it's scary, and it's scary. So I've only seen this movie once. I've seen the remake. There was a TV movie as well. I've seen the remake. I've seen Carrie 2. I've seen the remake. Didn't think the remake was all that great, but I absolutely love this movie. Sissy Spacek, pronounce her name. Sissy Spacek. She was, I think she was perfectly cast in this movie because she looked a little weird initial stage. When she goes for the prom, she actually looks beautiful, and my heart went out to her and I knew what was going to happen, and I knew, of course, it's just a movie, but my heart actually broke a little watching her because she looked pretty lovely in that dress. And then, of course, what happens next? So it's what I said. I'm kind of empathetic. Next is one of the best superhero movies. It's the tag. I mean the. Somebody in the journalist from the Sun writes, absolutely bloody brilliant, and yeah, I agree. It's difficult for me to say because I actually do not like the actor much. Hugh Jackman has never been one of my favorite actors. I just tolerated him because of the X-Men movies. I haven't watched many of his other movies, just like one or two odd ones here and there. But yeah, in Logan, it's one of my favorite movies. Superhero-wise, this is absolutely brilliant. Both him and Patrick Stewart. Patrick Stewart, of course, I adore. He's a legend. But I think Hugh Jackman kind of won me over a little bit. Oh, it's very difficult to say. He's one of the guys I don't actually like. I kind of don't like certain actors, and this guy's one. Matthew McConaughey, cannot stand that fucker. But yeah, Logan, brilliant film. This girl, whatever her name is, she's absolutely awesome. Trying to get her name, Daphne Keane. I think she's British, but she plays Mexican in this movie, and she's absolutely brilliant. I remember my cousin and I sitting in the theaters watching her fight scenes, and we were like, man, we are like rooting for her completely, because she's a kid, and she's a girl, and she kicked ass. So I hope they make a movie with her later as a grown-up character. That would actually be awesome. I would actually enjoy that a lot. But yeah, Logan. So I've not watched a lot of movies with Hugh Jackman in it. Even though I wanted to watch the film just because he is either the main character or one of the main characters. But I just never liked this big boorish Australian. I don't know. I don't like him much. But yeah, credit where credit is due. He's awesome in this movie. One of my favorite movies, but I've only watched this movie once. And at the end of the movie, I was in complete tears. There's one of the few movies that can actually make me cry. And you would also already know that it's because I love dogs. I've had a dog of my own. 11 years, my best friend. And this one devastated me at the end. And I was not ready for it. Even though I kind of knew the story because it's based... The movie is not true, but it's based on a true story. So I kind of knew what was going to happen, but at the same time, man, I was not I was not prepared for that. And at that last scenes, towards the end, I was actually thinking of my dog. Oh, just thinking about this movie makes me feel a little thing. So, yeah, Hachi, A Dog's Tale. This is, I mean, it broke, it broke me completely. Um, I've cried at a couple of other dog movies recently. A Dog's Way Home, A Dog's Journey, a little bit. Sorry, A Dog's Purpose, a little bit, and A Dog's Journey, a lot more. But yeah, shish man, I don't care when people, when actual humans die in movies, but when dogs, uh, man. So yeah, Dog's Tale. I think I watched it only once, and I'm like a little apprehensive watching it again because I know I'm gonna get a little emotional. Little, he says. I think I might even try to watch it tomorrow if I get some time. I've got a couple of movies that I want to watch, um, and if I get some time, I definitely will pop it in. But if I can, it's a movie for a Sunday. That's what I kind of say. And it's a family movie, but be careful, your kids are going to cry. And if not, please take them to the doctor. They might not have a heart. Finally, one of my favorite movies of recent years. I absolutely adore this movie, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I watched it in the theaters. Didn't know anything about this movie except for the fact that I knew it was something to do with people who worked at NASA, and that these were women who did a lot of the computing work. Before proper computers actually came in, they did the hard work in the calculations and stuff. It's got 4 stars in several newspapers and magazines, and 5 stars in several. For me, it is a 5-star. It's this is the kind of movie that I like to watch. I've watched it twice. It's available on streaming services, but yes, I definitely need to have it in my collection. Hidden Figures. I love these 3 women in this movie. Brilliant movie. I mean, they were bang on, awesome awesome in acting abilities. I love this movie a lot. I will watch it again and again and again till the day that I die, because this movie makes me feel great. I just love this movie a lot. I can't say that enough. I love Hidden Figures, and I recommend it to several people who have never seen it before. Please do watch it. It's I'm not really sure exactly how true it is to history, but whatever but it does highlight several things about African Americans in the 50s and all that stuff. The contributions that these women did are equally important as several other characters in NASA's history. So, and I believe they've actually corrected a lot of the wrongs. They've got some monuments to these women. They've won a lot of awards and stuff. But yeah, brilliant movie. And this is the kind of movie that I like to watch with African Americans. I don't tend to like African American comedy movies because it's just a lot of shouting, and I definitely do not like the rap culture and thug stuff and street crap and all that nonsense. The moment I hear rap music, I want to switch the television off. I want to switch my computer off. I can't stand African American, the culture that they call, that's rap. The blues, brilliant. Jazz, brilliant. Stuff like this, brilliant. I'm sorry. I know you might call it, that's actually part of their culture growing up in America, but just not for me. Some of you might like it, that's great, not for me, but this is the kind of movie when somebody asked me what are the movies that you like of black people or black African or African Americans or black Americans, what do you want to call them? I would say this, because I love the 3 characters in this movie. If I saw these actresses, there's hardly any chance of me doing that. I would kiss their hands, I would hug them, and I would tell them that I loved this movie. So, like I said, all these movies are among my favorites. I am blown away by some of them. So, I've been rambling on for 20 minutes. So, take care, guys. I'll catch you again pretty soon. Have a good night. Peace out. Roshan out. Bye.